Call the meeting to order.
And hail, the gang is all here. Assessor Austin. Chair Geisman. Clerk Chaco.
Thanks for that.
And David.
Yes.
Glad to have you as a guest.
Thank you.
And Devin. Okay, so the statement, this meeting is being recorded by the city of Greenfield. If any other persons present are recording this meeting, must notify the board chair at this time. The chair and Board of Assessors reserves the right to remove or have removed any persons for profanity, threats, or any continued disruption during a meeting. So, first order of business is to take a look at the previous minutes, and if you're in agreement with them.
I move that they're good.
Okay. Randy, would you like a second? Short and sweet. All right, that's
All
good.
in favor?
There we are.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so accepted. Okay, now we need to open public comment. Do I hear a motion?
I move we open public comment.
1 second. Okay.
Aye.
One favor, aye. Right. And speaking time is 3 minutes for each person. State name and address. Wonder where Stefan is this morning.
Right on.
Okay. All right, so ongoing board business. There. How are we doing in the office and what's going on with RG?
Well, we can have that, David give us that update first.
Well,
For RG.
problem with the our data collector this morning. And he's got about 650 done or about halfway through the cyclical inspections for this year, which is about normal. The cyclical inspections will keep giving us a little bit of growth. So far this year, we have the last spreadsheet I had from him had $741,000 in valuation. And that's about $13,000 in growth that he's picked up alone. The next step for us, all the land splits are done, and they're with what's his name, Eric.
Torod.
All right, so they should be showing up in the GIS soon. And there's some
TIS?
GIS.
We already have, or Devin, didn't we see the one that was completed last week?
Yeah, that was in Patriot, and then it's also,
We've already updated it.
Yeah.
Yes,
so,
so I think that he might have gotten them done already, or
That's great.
at least
yeah.
part of them, because we came across one that.
So that's moving along. There was quite a few splits. Unfortunately, there wasn't an awful lot of value coming out of them because some of them were just, somebody's taking a piece of land from here and added the piece of land here, so it really doesn't round the whole beans. I think there were 4 new parcels, so that was another little bit of new growth. I have completed sorting and listing, or sorting and preparing to go out and do data collection on all the permits. At the moment, I have 182. So we're gonna look at
Permits?
yes. Now, I've got to tell you, there's not an awful lot, there's an awful lot of mini splits. There's a few additions, there's some, there's a couple of houses. There is one large one for the grow facility across the street here.
Mhm.
And I'm going to be asking Harold to come and help me, because I really can't see where the value is for what the value is on the building permit. I can't see it. And I need him there to take a look at it and give me an explanation. Obviously, there's going to be some demolition involved, so that'll be. But the permit's for 20 million. I just can't see.
20 million?
Yeah,
Wow, that would be awesome.
yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath. So he comes back on the 8th of June. In the meantime, I'm going to pull all the available plans and permits that we have for it. And him and I will take a look at that.
Okay.
And I'm going to defer to him on a large commercial. I just, yeah. A convenience store or something, I'm happy enough with it.
Where's the grow operation?
Right across the street, we're using the dance studio
Oh, yeah.
beside the Bush Depot.
Yeah.
Or the new garage rather than the, well.
Right, no, I understand.
Across from Village,
Yeah,
with pizza.
so.
That Smoky Leaf place,
No, I forgot, I didn't look at the name,
right across from Village Pizza.
yeah,
Huh. They're gonna be a grow facility?
that's what it said,
Oh, I thought that was gonna be retail,
maybe both.
maybe both.
And,
Hmm.
you know, the other thing that we look at, you might expect personal property, but if it's a growth facility in manufacturing.
Right, it wouldn't count.
Exempt.
Yeah, but it's not that big of a property.
I know.
Right.
Well, that's, you know, maybe the permit's been listed wrong, maybe I'll go out and check out, but definitely.
If they're gonna build a tower there, it's gonna be 10 stories.
What are we gonna call it?
Too many funny possibilities.
Too many disaster. So, my goal here, I don't know if Randy has told you, but my situation has changed a little bit. My wife's not too well. So, I'm hoping to collect all the data for the permits and then I'm going to take and work from home on the computer. Next week I'll be here on Friday because I believe we've got a meeting with the mayor.
Oh, the growth meetings.
Yeah, so I'll come in then.
Next week?
The 7th, isn't it?
No, okay.
I got this point.
I think the new growth meeting is on June 20th.
I thought it was the 7th.
Uh,
If she changed it, that's fine.
I don't think she changed it. I think that's just what it is. I have it on the 20th.
Oh, okay, suits me.
I don't, but maybe you guys have a different meeting on the
No.
7th.
No,
I have got new growth on 20th to from 1 to 2.
all right, that's fine. Then I'll be here on the 20th instead, which is a Thursday, I think, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Some of the things that Randy and I have to talk about in the next couple of weeks is we need to see where we are with supplemental billing. Randy has told me there's 2 or 3 properties out there that were exempt that have now become taxable.
oh, great.
So,
That's new growth.
well,
Hmm.
It is.
I had supplemental bills on those already,
did you?
the ones from Stoneleigh Barnum, because they were requesting them.
Okay, did you make them for 20, did you change the use for 25 then for
I
growth?
think I might have changed the use, yeah, from exempt to like a 101.
Okay, and I need to know where they are, so I can add it to the new growth fee.
Those are gonna be huge.
I don't know what they are, I haven't seen them.
Right, but it's from 0.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, the whole full value, it might only be 500,000 each.
Yeah, it'd be great. That's
Oh,
way
so
more than,
Between the three, it was about $1 million. And,
Houses?
between the three of them.
Okay,
yeah,
that's good then, that's $85,000.
I mean, that's much better than the 15K you scraped up from 650
Yeah.
cyclicals.
So, but I'll need to get those, so we can add them to the spreadsheet. And that's basically where we are. We returned the forms of listed Randy last Friday, so you've got those for RRC.
Mhm.
And I gotta tell you, I won't miss personal property.
Why are you grinning so much?
Like a Cheshire cat.
Yes.
Personal property is mostly a waste of time. Because, I mean, the whole accounts you're gonna come up with, it's like 400 or 500. 90% of them are gonna be under the low value. It's gonna be utilities are the big ones, and that's it. It's 90% of the value being 10% of the properties. But anyway, so that's where RRG is at the moment. Unless you have any question.
No, but we've talked about RRG oversight and you know, do we have any update on that? Are we talking to Harold about the best way to keep track of what's going on there?
No, not really. I mean, and that's really why David is here, to give us an update.
What other oversight?
Talked to him about how we were concerned and wanted to have more
Yeah.
information, and that's part of why he's here. You know, telling us you're hearing from him, not from me,
Yeah.
what's going on.
I have a question. The tip line, was that, were you gonna be doing the tip line or who was gonna be working down the tip line?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, David doesn't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We several months ago, we did a thing in here, a motion that we could start collecting tips. Tips like Stephanie or other random people saying, hey, my neighbor's not doing XYZ, right? So yeah, we've been doing that for a few months, and what's the plan for?
This is the first time we talked about actually doing anything about it, been accumulating the information. And so, yeah, that's something that we'll have to figure out. So one other thing that I've been talking to Harold about is our other list that we have, the permit value versus.
That's what you say. Oh, you're working on just the bulk permit.
Yeah.
Right, he's working on just the regular building.
Okay.
He's not doing any other special stuff. And so that was one that Harold and I had talked to him about it. And he wanted to get a few target properties, and he and I go out together and look at them. So we need to basically refine that list, because I know on a bunch of them, there were a bunch of exempt properties.
Of course.
Owned by City of Greenfield.
But
So we
yeah.
just need to get our most effective top, however many, and then that's what Harold and I will go and concentrate on.
What's the purpose of looking at exempt for growth?
We're not looking at.
You don't want
Not
to.
looking at exempt.
The idea,
We did a comparison, so Chuck got a list of 5 years worth of permits.
Right, I remember that.
Right, and so he did a comparison of the permit value versus the value that we had, our assessed value. And so when there's a big investment in permit wise, but the value's not there. That's, we've got a list of those, and the worst ones that are sticking out are the ones that we want to go and look at, like the 7 Legion Ave.
But I thought, are they not coded with the use code, so you can just take them out?
You're talking the exempts.
Yeah, the exempts have a 900 code on them, so if you just,
Yeah,
so if you
Yeah.
just remove those.
yeah, but it's not, I mean, you can filter the list.
Yeah.
I have it in a spreadsheet, you can filter it, but the list is short enough that it
Can you bring it
won't
up?
bother. Yeah, sure. Do you want to make me a co-host or something so I can show it?
That gets done.
First, I'll have to
yeah,
find
we
it.
even talked about at the new growth meeting, you were here at the new growth meeting.
Yeah,
So I'm sure we brought it up at that time. 7 Legion Ave was one of the ones that stuck out. They had $2 million worth of permits. We have it at 329, and we're still calling it a lodge. It's a marijuana facility. And so,
it's been converted?
yeah. And so I even just changing it from, it was at like 328, and I changed it from lodge to store, and I went up to like 386.
So you're doing an omitted on that then, or?
Um, No, I haven't, it's one of the ones that's out there, but, I haven't had the chance to take action on it. yet. And this is part of what, what it's gonna be on this list.
And yeah, I suppose I was just talking about the ones like the town of Greenfield or city of Greenfield. Why you go look at them and things
So
like
we're
that.
not gonna, that's what I was saying, we'll remove those from the list, because some of them are, on the list overall. There were a bunch that were in the mix, and obviously we don't need to go and look at those.
Tell the Department of Revenue.
Yeah.
How would I get him to be the host?
I'll find it. You can-
Look under more.
We do this every meeting.
Hmm?
We do this every meeting.
Yes.
Every meeting, I need to share something, and every meeting we have to go find in the menu where
Yeah,
it's quite difficult to find.
Devin,
yes,
camera okay?
absolutely. And this one. This was that.
It's just a view. And, I looked under participants, I didn't see.
Yeah, I just want to write the draft. Number.
Oh, there.
There you go. And so,
Make co-host. There we go. Okay. All right, Chuck, you're a co-host.
All righty. Let's,
David, have you seen the permit spreadsheet as well?
Mhm.
the permit spreadsheet?
Yeah, well, the
I've seen-
the permit thing that you were just referring to about where the permits and the valuation.
Okay, yeah, that's what it's gonna pull up.
Right? It's just, I made a PDF of this so it didn't get messed up.
Oh, I see. There's no use code on that.
I have it in the spreadsheet though, so I can filter it that way. So if I go to the actual spreadsheet.
Yeah, you see is the column.
So construction per value. So this is pulling from, this is a pivot table built on permits and the property types. So I combine those together into this sheet. So this sheet, it has the permits, but then for each permit, it also has the lookup code or the land use code.
Yeah, I see it there in the third, fourth column.
Yeah, this one here. So I do have the ability to filter it that way.
You've done it twice, okay.
Yeah. So I do have the ability to filter it that way. But just for now, you can see, like, obviously these ones, City of Greenfield, Asset Row, I mean, they're,
That's the one I'm talking about, asset row.
oh, is
20
that the, yeah. For a total value of the property of, for a ratio of 9,000.
That's why the change of use would mean it was a dance hall. So maybe that construction cost is wrong. It seems huge for, I mean, what can you do in that corner for $20 million?
And it'll build a 10-story tower.
Yeah, so.
But this is a long list, and many of them are obviously like, there's like a multifamily, you know, and there's another, right? A lot of these are just landlords who are doing additions and stuff. And so just sorting it by the ratio between the size of the, and this isn't just one permit, it's the sum of all permits on that property over the 5-year period. Right, because that's, we just care about how much value is added. And so, and then just comparing it to whatever the value of that property was as it happens in 2022, because that's the data set I had. And just to give a general idea of what to look at. So, I mean, you could go down a couple of pages, what, 50 of these, but at some point it's not that interesting anymore. I mean, right, a lot of places maybe do $100,000 permit for to like a multifamily,
Yeah.
would do this often. So this analysis was just to like maybe find some low hanging fruit is really all this is.
Well, then you guys don't need me
All right.
today. I'm finished here this morning. Oh, good night.
Unless you have another question,
Yeah,
or
I'll show you the tip line, just so you know what it looks like. So this is just, I mean, it's super simple. It's just some addresses that people said. I tried to code them as whether it's unpermitted work or undervalued, but a lot of these, who knows? Right, a lot of these, this is all from Ginny's old notes. It's a big list. And then these are just people have said, hey, JS Ray is doing something. You know, doesn't this Ford dealership have something? Hey, I think at 23 Linden, they've done some stuff. Just tips.
But they don't know what, they don't tell you what?
I mean, these are just people. They don't know. They're like, oh, sometimes like I wrote in stuff, like, hey, I think there's a contractor doing something there.
Well, I know the last one, I've got that on the list, so,
Oh, log claim?
yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, hopefully, right, we've got all these
Yeah,
already.
maybe at Conway as well.
Oh, yeah.
107 Fairview East, 12 condos.
What?
So,
12 condos,
Where's this?
107 Fairview East.
No.
maybe it's more than they're supposed to be. I don't know. I mean, people just say random things and I just type it in.
Yeah, I mean, the solar. We don't
Yeah,
care.
but obviously it doesn't matter. Right, I mean, 90% of this is not gonna be anything. But at least we're showing we're responsive. Even last year, like running for this office, people are just constantly barraging, including Ginny, just barraging. You also, right, Jim, with, hey, I saw this house over there, they're not doing whatever. So this was just a sort of an official way to gather it all.
Yeah,
And maybe we ought to make a notation of, for example, the solar stuff, that isn't gonna count, is it?
Oh, and most of this stuff is gonna have one reason. I mean, most of it's probably there's nothing there anyway. So, but it's just a matter, just like everything, and someone just has to walk through it and be like, anyway,
I mean, once you're ready to do it, just print the list and take a look at it.
Yeah. Okay,
well, sure.
right. Okay, anyhow, that's.
So on Congress Street?
Oh,
These are all
that
Ginny's. Ginny had so many of these Commerce Street ones she didn't like.
And her claim is that the Marigans have their own construction equipment and have been working on all of these properties without permits, allegedly, so. And part of the problem is these are allegations and,
Right, these are all, this whole list of allegations, but we don't care if they, I mean, it's not our problem to know that they've been doing unpermitted work. All we care about is if that did happen, is the value higher.
Oh, it's definitely, yes, that's the whole 9 yards.
But I mean, we don't have to prosecute anybody or chase anyone down.
It's gonna be difficult because it's happening on the inside.
We don't see it.
Yeah, they're probably not gonna let us in.
Excuse me, the mayor says you did.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's another, right?
Well, and so at least we're, like you said, paying attention to it and taking it seriously, so.
That's right.
All right, I'll be downstairs for a while.
all right, okay.
Thank you, David.
We'll take a look and see if there's any permits from last year that should be supplemental, so we can get those out first.
Yes.
All right.
Right.
Have a nice meeting. Don't go
Okay.
too long.
Okay, we won't be seeing you for a while.
No, my plan is, the next 2 weeks is going to be regular. My wife gets treatment the following week, so I don't know what's going to happen then and so on and so on. So every 3 weeks, I might be out for a while,
Okay,
but I'll be here most of the time.
all right, good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, David.
Thanks.
Say it, must you?
Okay. Yeah, the thing that I was wondering about was how can we get RRG to just generate a standard report of where we are and revals and everything else, as opposed to just having David present something verbally.
Okay, I can talk to him about that.
I mean, I think maybe, what does he do to sort of manage the workload? And how does he know when people are on track or not? So, yeah, if you could find out, get some information from him. All right, staffing, we still have the job descriptions.
I got a data collector job description,
Right.
so I'm gonna be contacting human resources and trying to get the ball rolling this week.
Great. And budget, has the budget been approved?
I am not even sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I think the last time that we talked about it, though, it was like not quite, we need a couple more days or the one more thing was gonna happen, but now it has gone through.
I'm fairly sure it has at the,
I thought that was the last council meeting.
yeah, right? Yeah.
right.
And then they voted on it and they
So we have our 60 grand built in there?
believe so.
Yes,
Great. Okay. And board help with administration research. Okay, business of the board, excise weeks.
Okay. We've got a couple things going on. So here are the list of abatements for motor vehicle. And then we also have the third commitment to sign off on that went out on the 21st.
$800. Good job. That's it for the excise.
For excise, yep, that's it. It's going through.
The supplementals.
No, currently, we don't have any sign up on.
After land leaves. Hello there.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi. Can I sit here?
Sure.
Good job, then.
Hi.
I think there's something on every page.
Oh, I missed the middle.
Yeah, I didn't have, there's no lines on this.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Sorry.
Replaced. I don't think I've met, here's Jonathan.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a applicant who wants to talk to the board.
You're new, right?
I am new.
I thought I remembered your name from the,
Yeah, I'm
from the election. I'm sorry, what was it?
Jim.
Jim.
It's Jonathan's at.
Yes, and actually, there's there's like some copies, so.
Where do you live, Jonathan?
High Street, 78 High Street.
Okay. CHIIAT?
Yeah, CHAIT.
AIT.
What's David's last name?
Burgess,
I just-
Burgess.
Have any relatives out in the eastern part of the state?
In the eastern part of the state. Well, I have my mother, used the same last name, but she died last year. And my sister, I have a sister who uses the last name as a middle name.
Okay, no, I think,
I think she does sometimes.
I went to university with a guy named Bobby Chickett.
Oh, yeah. It's not a real common name in this state.
That's why,
You go to someplace like Miami,
oh, yeah.
Florida, the phone book is full of us.
Okay,
And so I'm not sure where we are with the agenda, but we would have to go into executive session.
okay. Maybe we ought to break and do that and then return,
Sure.
okay?
I move we
Enter executive.
Enter-
Yeah. We
pause public comment.
Let's close public comment.
Okay.
Public.
I move we close public comment.
And I'll second.
Okay.
All in favor, aye.
Okay.
Do you want me to
And
leave?
now,
No,
No, we're preparing
time for
to.
private comment.
So am I included in this executive session?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
All right.
Guest of honor.
I think we go into executive session.
second.
Okay.
Here we
Aye.
go.
Can we
Now we're in
tap the
executive.
record button?
Yes, right.
Yeah.
I thought it would be because
Thank you.
Do we have any other participants? No. Seeing none, okay. So we did excise tax, which we talked about up supplemental bills and omitted and revised.
There's no chapter land or liens today.
How about the calendar timeline?
Let's check in where we're at. So we're in,
But this is the new version that you gave us last.
yes, yeah, and I've been just
Did we
making,
have a chance to look at that?
oh, okay. Oh, I emailed, I can send it again to you guys if you'd like. I think I sent an email last.
So, and this is what we were working on back in October, probably, is our consolidated,
So, but you were about to use it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like, I'll. Yeah, I'm just checking in and seeing where we are this.
Yeah,
month
go ahead.
For May.
and, what do we have? for-
So right now, the fourth quarter tax payments were due, that happened. And then a lot of this is Randy, prepare map changes for mapping companies and map changes for updating,
Didn't David just say that he just finished that with Eric?
Yes.
okay? Update income and expense database for manual survey returns.
And that is something that, Harold was gonna be doing, and he talked about getting the IE info. Did you ever grab that? or
No, we
did it
have it
for him?
still.
All right, so
He has
I'll
not
talk
asked
to him
for it.
about that and, see when he needs it or when he wants to get it, because I know that he was already asking for it.
Okay,
I just found the calendar.
Yeah.
May 14th.
okay, yeah. Yep, and I'll,
So we had
It's,
had four
in-
different calendars, we Devin
Yeah, this is-
consolidated them all into one.
and this is, mostly working from the one that RRG provided, so that's why it looks so similar, but there might be some redundancies. Complete field review of new building sites, note potential site influence adjustments, which is,
Yeah, that's an RRG thing.
yeah, that's what he's up to. Check land divisions, parcel augmentation, site influence adjustments, same.
Yeah, we did. Dave said they did that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Finalize processing of personal property declarations.
If not, yeah.
So as of the 24th, our 2 weeks is up and we can proceed with our RRC.
Okay.
Great.
So I'll have to get the ball rolling in that too.
And create preliminary real estate tax billing file, which is upcoming. We do that in May,
No, it's really June.
so I'll move it to June.
And how does our calendar compare to the calendar items from that webinar? The CLS webinar?
Oh, just that I can go back and pull those and
Just check.
Make sure
either
you
check
do
it or
that.
put them in, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So now the discussion is needed stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
So for the new growth meeting, I don't have much, just I've been working on getting slides, the slide deck I did last time. I've been updating that so we can use it as an agenda. I also reached out to Vicky to see if I can get a one-on-one to go through the permit process
Mhm.
and make sure I have all the parts of it.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing on, I think last time I said I shared the zoning stuff with Eric. I had a meeting with Eric and I
Oh, yeah.
shared the zoning stuff. Tip line, you already heard. The council relations and expanding exemption qualifications. So you said Harold's away, but he's gonna be back in not too long, did you
Yeah,
say?
he's in Germany.
Because you said
Yeah, he'll be back, yeah.
you needed to work with Harold to get those estimates and how much those exemption changes would cost us. Remember the exemption stuff, like increasing the senior exemption,
Yeah.
this little bit and that little bit. There were like 2 or 3 little bits that were available for this year for the seniors. And I think for some military or something. And before we presented that to the council, our homework was to have estimates on how much that would hit the overlay.
Okay.
So that's what, and you said, oh, I need to get Harold to do that. Makes sense, though.
Yeah, well. Yeah, it would be more looking internally at what we have and any additional. Yeah, because we have to increase the overlay.
Yeah.
Additional deductions are.
So, yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to guess. But it's just, so there was just that one PowerPoint slide. That's the only thing. And that's I remember I went through all the exemption stuff and I narrowed it down to these really the only options we had.
Right.
Springfield already has most of it.
So I need to look at that again.
Yeah, just to make that estimate. Once we have that estimate, then we can go to the council with that one. And then maybe we should do that separately than when we go to the council with because we haven't even begun to talk about any of the property exemptions.
Right.
So that's gonna be a lot of work too. But this one should be less. Okay, so that was that one. The GCC course, I saw you sent some email.
Yeah, it's really in their court. Their staff is going to take a look at it and figure out how to schedule it. I also was wondering whether there wasn't some outreach we ought to do to the Greenfield Business Association. And I ran that one by Hannah Sheffen.
Tough name,
Sheffen,
yeah.
and haven't heard back from her, so we'll see. But frankly, I think the business association is not as much education as just sitting there and taking it. But that's okay.
Fair,
I mean, the
fair.
feedback from and getting in front of the business association, I think is useful.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done that outreach with the Rotary Club.
Yep.
Before, because I think, yeah, it's important for us to be visible and available to businesses.
Yeah, and I also had a note to put together a draft to the council of information we could provide and timeframes. And does anyone,
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. So,
but that wasn't just the exemptions.
no, that's, again, we were just talking about, so the exemptions is one thing
Yeah.
that we can do. But then after that is the usual November thing that we have to get ready for, which means we have to do analysis and talk to them about the property exemptions, the residential, the affordable housing, the small business.
I thought there was also, a split tax rate.
Yeah, split tax rate, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, those things all go together. And so it's up to us to do some analysis to decide what we think, or at least what we want to present.
Yeah, see if there's anything in particular that they want us to present on.
Yeah.
Well, we can do that first so we can ask them, but we're gonna have to present on all those things like we do every year.
Yeah, and I think it's also useful to reach out to them and say, it may well be, if we're gonna be talking about the exemptions, there may be a front end of educating them as to what's going on and how we did the estimate, how we're doing the estimate. If it's about the qualification, the qualification, what's the hearing where we set the tax rate?
The classification.
Classification.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. And prior to that, there's an educational component.
And probably some deliberation in some subcommittees.
Yeah, however it gets handled, but my point is.
We just need to get going. So that's really, we just need to get going and
Let me,
like you said, outreach ahead of time, at least just to say, can you start reserving calendar spots for us? Because it's going to take several hours. I mean, that was one of the problems last year, right? Is they didn't have all that time. So it all got pushed to the end and they have these marathon meetings.
I'm not sure about that,
But it was, yeah, anyway,
yeah, just know that what they asked for certain information at the hearing saying, oh, why didn't you provide this to us? But they never said that we, were wanting.
did ahead of time, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So-
we should provide anything that they ask for in a reasonable timeframe.
Exactly, right.
So-
So we need to get some time on their agendas so that we have dates to work to.
yeah. And also the
Yeah, because part of that also.
info was advanced.
exactly.
There's a subcommittee that we talked before the council, so we should be have all that stuff ready for the Ways and Means also.
Okay.
And I'm personally, I'm very curious, how those discussions are gonna come out. It's. Yeah, I think it's very challenging. There's a lot of good points about why we can't do any of those exemptions. And then there's a lot of good points about, oh, well, we should really try and do some of them. Not the senior ones, but like particularly the combo of the residential and the affordable.
Mhm.
Certainly, we can't just do the residential alone because that'll doubtless lead to rising rents and that's what,
Yeah.
right? And mixing it with the affordable housing to keep the rents down, if that all worked, that would be great. But what if it won't? You know, what if landlords will say, I don't care about getting the affordable one and I'm just gonna push up rents? So that's a complicated discussion. I mean, we put together the math, but we're gonna have to go and really get the political take from the council members.
You
Yeah,
mean
it's-
have them guide us as to what we ought to do.
Yes. Yeah, it's got to be a back and forth where we present the facts about what these options are and what they do. And they say, oh, no, I can't have my rent going up, or, oh, no, we need to find a way to help owners, or we need their political input. Anyway, so that's what that one is.
Okay,
And the hardship policy is already in place,
yeah.
right? That's what can we
Yeah.
strike that one? It's
Yep.
part of the canon now. Canon, oh, that's an expression kids use. And then the tax taking proactive outreach, I never saw that before, but can we please somehow tell Mitch and Al and friends that we're with them and we're doing our best?
Well, yeah, I just to fill you in, when I was in, I guess, last week? Yeah, it was last week. I spoke to Kelly Barnes about,
Yes,
you know, about whether any of the people that are ready to be foreclosed on or hitting the foreclosing process, whether any of them are eligible for exemption. And she has no way of knowing that. And I also talked to Kathy about a list of residents which have birth dates or ages. And there is a report that does have ages. And, one of the things that we can do is can be done is to take a look at the list of people that are going into foreclosure and check that against ages. And Kelly is also willing to send out, along with the foreclosure documentation, a list of all the exemptions that people can get and to, encourage them to apply.
that's terrific, but all the complaints are about the tax taking, about not just the
No,
foreclosure happening. but-
I know,
Yeah.
I understand. And as far as the equity theft.
That, yeah, the equity.
I mean, to me, I think that's a non-issue because the Supreme Court has already ruled on it and we're going.
Every rational human thinks that, but Mitch and Al and friends keep screaming that the city is still doing it.
Well, if we're doing it, it's illegal, period. And we shouldn't be doing illegal things.
Well, but as you know, state law still says that we have to do it.
Yeah.
I thought that the
It doesn't happen
SJC,
overnight. It's a 2-year process before we start all this. And so we're talking about after a year saying, hey, do you need some help? What's going on? And then tell them about the exemptions that are available.
right,
But, if you have equity in your home and you don't pay your bill for 2 years, I don't think that we're the big bad guys stealing your
No, no,
equity. How about you do something about your situation in 2 years?
Yeah, but that's not, you should probably keep that. Because the thing is, everyone, there's a vast political upswell against equity theft. And so it has nothing to do with the assessing.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with us. But according to the city is still doing it because they have to. And what cities should be doing that hopefully we are, but I don't know, is even though they have to take it, that they keep it in a separate account so that when it does percolate through, we're going to be responsible for giving it all back. If they're going to retroactive, we're going to have to give it all back. So we have to keep it in a separate account. I don't know anything about that, the treasurer and all that side of it. But the only thing I'm bringing up, which is I thought what this was about, is because we are part of the process.
Yeah.
Al and Mitch, they keep screaming at us that equity theft is still happening, and not just screaming at us, but they keep telling, right, in the meetings and in the media,
Yeah.
that we, the assessors, amongst other people, are still doing equity theft because we're mean or wrong or whatever.
Well,
It's not the case.
well,
And-
we can't muzzle them from saying whatever the hell they want.
No, we can't,
But it's-
but we
it's
can do what it says
inaccurate.
here, which is proactive outreach.
Yeah.
Or just, we can say, we totally agree with you on the equity theft thing. It would be easier for us to say that if we knew from Kelly and whoever else that the city's actually doing the right thing.
Okay, but I think then that is part of the communications between the collector who is
agree.
going through this and.
It shouldn't be us.
Right.
I
So-
agree, but we're gonna have to say, we need to, it was on our agenda for a good reason.
Who is it? You're saying Al and who?
Al Norman, Mitch
Yeah.
and Joan Spate and.
Yeah.
Or Mitch Spade and Joan Jackson, and they have a coterie, what's his name, the council member, Minhas?
Oh, yeah,
Wahab?
Yeah.
So I mean, he's the city council, I mean, these are important people, and they're saying something which is politically important, and we have no problem with it. But if we could get together with the other groups in the city and we all had a united face and said, we're all doing the right thing, that would be so great. I don't know why that hasn't happened. I wonder if that had something to do with the change in management.
Yeah.
But that should have already happened. I don't know why we're dragging our feet. But anyways, it's political.
Yeah, what was the meeting that I was mistaken for you?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
They were right, the vitriol was coming out and shouldn't be there. We have plenty of things to fight about. That's not one of them. We all agree.
I was talking to Kelly about Joan and Mitch, because they're on the hook for 15 grand. And, they're consistently behind in their taxes, consistently. And a lot of these people ought to be on a deferral. Kelly was telling me, putting people on payment, the payment plan issue. But what the payment plan is not just dealing with the back taxes, but the taxes moving forward. So in other words, the payment plan, gets them current.
I think it would be a kinder approach to really restrict our discussion of this topic to just equity theft. It's because we are not part of the collecting activity. We push our exemptions all the time. We want people to get records accurate, but we're not part of so we shouldn't be discussing or even considering what's happening with all that. That's not,
Well, you do have a point.
unless they apply for hardship, in which case we'll work through all that.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, the issue that they're fighting about is not about any of that. They're just fighting about the equity theft. And like you said, the court and everything, it's not, we just need to all get on the page and be proactive and talk about.
So maybe the thing to do is to just set up this escrow account so that if we're mandated, you know,
The collector should have already done that. I hope and wish that they already have.
I don't know.
That's already what's happening. We just need to outreach and tell people. This is
Well, I think
already
then
happening.
that's a Jenny thing.
Yeah,
We just say to Jenny that, you know, the equity theft is gonna be illegal and to the extent that we have, does she?
absolutely. Up and down.
But does she know whether we set up an escrow account?
I don't know. I just, see, we're just not in the know.
Okay.
Maybe you hear about it in your department meetings or something, but it's really nothing to do with us.
Okay. All right. Well,
So the only reason we need to do outreach is because people think it has something to do with us and it doesn't.
Right.
okay.
Yeah, because it bugs me when I hear people saying, oh, you know, equity, no. You know, it's not equity theft, and this doesn't, in my opinion. Yes, there might be equity there, but if it's equity, it's the owner's responsibility to tap into that to get the money.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Don't say what, that the
No,
owner of
no.
a home should be responsible for their own situation?
Yeah, don't.
Well, I mean, I think he's right, but,
Yeah.
but the problem is if they were irresponsible, then they wind up in the soup. And, you know, I think your point is right. I mean, you know, if you know, it's, if you got to ask how much you can't afford it. You know, it's that sort of thing. If you're living in housing, but that ain't our problem. I mean, we can, you know, we in fact, we don't have a dog in that fight. I
We
mean,
don't have any dog in any, and like you said, the thing about equity theft is already decided by a bunch of courts. We don't have any dogs anywhere.
You know, maybe because we wind up, you know, getting tarred inappropriately. Maybe we just send a note to Jenny saying, if we haven't done, if there's no escrow account to deal, we don't want to be tarred with this, and that an obvious fix
So,
that occurred to
you know,
us is.
So I'm thinking it's like, well, should the collector be advertising or putting out there, hey, this is the process and this is how it
Yeah.
happens. You know, this is what, you know, how you end up in a tax title and, you know what I mean, because it's sort of like, and I know that you're not necessarily agreeing with me, you know, because we're not really stealing their equity. If they're, you know, get on the ball and take care of things, you know, you wait 2 years and you don't pay your bill for 2 years, then you have to.
Yeah, but the equity
some
theft
responsibility.
is even after the house equity pays all of that, all the taxes, all the fees, all the interest, there's still money left over.
If there's money.
If there's money left over, that's what the issue is, that
Yeah,
the city
sure.
shouldn't take it. And right now, the state makes us take it. And so we need to escrow it because the state's gonna change
Well,
it and we're gonna have to
yeah.
give it all back.
What you're saying is the collector's office really needs to, you know, have an educational piece that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Maybe they wouldn't be viewed as such villains if everyone was aware of all the steps that they go through
Yeah.
to help people and to make them aware that they're in this situation and that they have to deal with it. You know?
They wouldn't be viewed as villains, having nothing to do with that. Wouldn't be viewed as villains if they were actually escrowing that equity because they know they're gonna be giving it back. And
Sure.
that's it. And that's the only topic, any of this discussion about owners' responsibilities and city dealing with that, don't go anywhere near any of that.
Because even that, I mean, we're not a real estate broker. We don't really want anything to do with it other than have the taxes paid. And yet now we're forced into that role. And then we have to jump through hoops now too. and-
No,
The collector is forcing that role,
Yeah, I
not
think-
us.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I'm saying we as the city. You know,
The city, you're right. Mhm, exactly. So anyway, the outreach that hopefully,
That's a tough one for us to discuss in our meeting when, like you're saying, we don't even have a dog in the fight.
we need the facts from the other departments so that we can outreach appropriately.
Yeah, I'll ask Kelly about that.
Yeah.
See if they have anything about the process and, you know, the procedure of how it takes place. Because
Right.
if we could advertise that a little bit. Or do a little more of awareness piece, you know.
What's on the collector's website? I'm wondering if there's a process piece there.
Yeah.
But again, you guys, that is a cool thing for them to outreach, but equity theft is
No,
separate.
no, I understand that. I understand that. But here's the process. And one of the steps in the process was when we foreclose, we take whatever the excess is and we put it in escrow. because
Yes.
We know, but
Yes.
the point is there a process documented on the
It
collector's?
should never, if
website?
there's equity involved, it should never get to that point.
Of
Equity
course.
should be used to resolve the situation.
Right, and
And the
maybe part of,
leftover.
maybe the part of the process is, you know, you need some credit counseling for people that just can't afford it or something like that.
Yeah, or some other, proactive way or a way before they get to that point. It's been a year, and so at a year, now we're taking action because
Right.
we'll have to take a more negative and non-proactive action.
But when you
in
say
3
we,
years.
you're not talking about us. you're
Yeah,
talking
right, I'm talking about the city, yeah.
And,
Yeah, I'm looking at all the stuff they
okay,
have.
well, we can,
There's nothing. I don't
right,
really see anything that's useful.
okay.
Here, I see this one thing. What happens if I have a lien on my home and I can't make payments or pay the balance? What happens if the city puts a lien on my home for non-payment of taxes? Those are the two well-run,
Look.
It takes years
just
to
get
foreclose.
this
Yeah, there's
out
no
of our
info.
hair, let me take a look at what's there and then I'll talk to Kelly about having something that makes sense. And, as far as the escrow account goes, I can just sort of mention it informally and see what she has to say. And then if somebody says, well, you guys, the assessor's office are the bad guys, you say, well, here's the link.
So you have to get in this line.
Right.
It's way down there.
The free money line. Okay,
Okay, that was
is
that.
that it? I guess so.
Is the next meeting on June 11th?
It's scheduled to be, there is a conflicting meeting for the one after that. I think it's the 25th. There's like a retirement meeting at 10:30, so I don't know if you guys want to reschedule that one for a different time or not have it or.
I think we'll know better at the next meeting.
Okay.
So at the 11th, we'll discuss it and decide whether we're gonna.
Or,
Okay,
Because, yeah, our website, I believe, still says is that we have meetings once a month and then as needed. And we have been in that as needed mode, but we're hopefully getting to the calmer part of the year, especially now that we've done all of our abatements, if we can resolve this last one with Mr. Chait.
I still think we're gonna be meeting a lot because all these council
Wow.
things take a lot of work. And all the new growth stuff also a lot of work. So,
all right. I think that's it. Huh?
all right, I
Anything else?
move that we close, we already
Public.
closed public comment.
Right.
So that we close the meeting.
Sure.
Okay, I'll second.
Okay,
Aye.
all in favor? Here we go.
All right.